Hey, so it's Project for Awesome time again. This semester I've been taking a Media in the Environment class, and it's making me really want to go back to my P4A roots and support an environmental charity this year. Climate change is the biggest threat to the world today, and we really need to deal with it, which is why this year I am promoting the Natural Resources Defense Council. The Natural Resources Defense Council is one of the largest and most effective environmental charities in the country, and they are really committed to fighting climate change and promoting clean energy and really covering a huge array of environmental issues. And their website is just chock full of information about so many different issues. Just by poking around it, you can learn a lot. And because I know many people are like me, young and underemployed, I want to give some things you can do to help the environment that aren't just donating money or recycling. I'm a big fan of action, and this first suggestion also combines my love of talking to people about things I learned on podcasts, which is that solar power, like solar panels, which are one of the best things that you can do for the environment if you have a house, are not as wildly expensive upfront anyway as you may imagine. For a long time, I think the story with solar panels was roughly that you would pay thousands and thousands of dollars upfront and then you would just not pay for electricity anymore. And I think you can still do that, but there's also lots of companies out there that do various financing, so it basically comes to that instead of paying your electricity bill, you just make a payment on your solar panels every month, and it usually ends up being cheaper, and you're doing solar power, so it's so much better. So if you own a house or some other form of property, that's something you can look into. Or you can do like I did and randomly send an email to your mom asking her to look into it, or, talk to anybody you know who owns a home. I'll put a link to the Planet Money podcast that I heard that explains all this a lot better downstairs, as well as any other resources I can find on this stuff. My next suggestion is to eat less meat. Like, the single most effective thing a person can do against climate change is to stop eating red meat. And let me tell you, as someone who has not eaten any meat for 7.5 years, it's really not that hard to, at least reduce it. And lastly, let your politicians and let businesses know that this is something you care about. Let this affect how you vote and how you buy. Individual action is great, but it's not going to be enough to solve this, which is why we need to let the people in charge know that this is something we care about, and something that they need to care about too. And that's also where organizations like the Natural Resources Defense Council come into play, to help fight the fight that we can't do alone. I'll put links downstairs to lots of information, and I hope everyone has a good Project for Awesome.